Hello there, I'm so happy that you made it. Today I am very excited, as you would have seen in the title and the thumbnail. Today we're doing a 24-hour reading challenge. I'm so excited. This is my second time doing a 24-hour reading challenge. The first time I think I did really well. Today I'm just gonna do the same thing again. I hopefully will make it the full 24 hours without sleeping, without stopping at all. So I have a little stack of books right here that I'm thinking of reading. I honestly don't know what I'm going to start with. I am currently in the middle of a book. I don't know if that's cheating to read it for this video. I think it makes sense because I'm going to get the gratification of finishing so much sooner. I also have these three books back here, which are the books left on my November TBR that I haven't read yet. The book that I'm currently in the middle of is Reputation by Sarah Shepard. I randomly saw someone post it on Instagram like back in 2021. It popped up on my bookstagram, one person. And I thought the cover was really cute. Sarah Shepard wrote Pretty Little Liars. And I'm finally reading it this month. I am nearly done. So maybe it does make sense for me to just get this one out of the way. So I think I am actually going to start with this one. And then we'll see where the wind takes us for our next read, depending on how I'm feeling. Okay. Oh my gosh, my most recent one is the one from last video. I guess we're starting. Okay, also it is 9:36 in the morning. I don't know why I forgot to tell you guys that. So 9:36 on Monday the 18th of November, I will be finishing and going to sleep. I'm on page 229, which is chapter 26. So
old memories fade. I walk alone through this empty parade. Night falls so slow, stars don't glow
guys, so we are 3 hours and like 45 minutes into the 24 hours. I just finished the first book. Okay, it's actually been 2 hours and 45 minutes. I have 21 hours and 15 minutes left, and I read 141 pages. So I thought I would give a little rundown on this book here. So this book follows our main character, Kit Manning, who works in the giving department at Aldrich University, which is an Ivy League, similar to Harvard, Yale, all of them. And she is married to the head doctor on the in the campus's hospital. Now, basically, the entire university, so all of the staff, students, everyone's emails get hacked and uploaded onto a public server for everyone to see. So because of that, a lot of secrets come out about everyone. The whole book is in 5 different POVs. So we have Kit's, obviously, and then we have her sister Willa, a co-worker of hers, Lynn, a nurse at the hospital, Laura, and Raina, who is Kit's daughter's best friend, who is a student at the university. So we're in all of their perspectives. They're all very flawed characters, especially at the beginning you meet them, and they're all a little shady. Basically, someone ends up getting murdered, and it's pretty much all of these 5 women individually trying to figure out who killed the person and who released the emails and how to kind of overcome all of that, because they all have a lot of secrets. It's very messy, to be honest. I honestly had so much fun reading it. I thought that the mystery elements of trying to figure out who did it and who did what, because there's so many secrets, was really entertaining. I didn't guess any of it, to be honest. It was very twisty and turny, which I appreciated. I will say, I feel like a lot of the side plots were just completely unnecessary, and I almost feel like some of the other main characters could have easily just been literally not included at all, and it would have been fine. However, their storylines were all still very interesting, and I will say by the end, and in the epilogue. I kind of love all of them in different ways. Again, they're all very terrible, horrible people, but you do kind of start to love them, and I loved the way the book wrapped up. I feel like this is going to be something that I think about in the back of my mind. Different things will remind me of when I see a university campus on like movies and stuff. This is something that's going to pop into my head. And for that reason, I'm honestly going to give this 4 stars. If you guys like mysteries, and specifically if you like shows like Big Little Lies, those sorts of things, I would highly recommend Reputation by Sarah Shepard. Okay, so as you can see, I'm dressed differently now. It is 1:45 and I do have my timer paused for the minute. I'll explain in a second. So as you guys saw, I started A Risk Gone Forever by N.S. Perkins. I looked up the aesthetic of it on Pinterest and stuff, and I was really unsure. But you know what? I'm only like 25 pages in. It's been an hour since I last spoke to you guys, and I finished my last book. 25 pages. So I decided on this, and then we went and sat by the pool and I read down there, and then I decided to pause my timer when we were coming back up because I feel like I am reading so slow, and I don't know why, because like I said, I'm actually really enjoying it already right off the bat. I can't really give you guys a synopsis as of yet, but I will when I get a little bit further into it. We're what, 3 hours and 45 minutes into the challenge. I am going to sit in my little reading corner because I won't get distracted. It's so weird because I'm not picking up my phone really, I'm not doing anything else. I'm just like keep finding myself sitting there like thinking, and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm not reading. Such a short book. I really think I can get this done by like, it's 2 now. I want to say I can get this done by 4, maybe 5. Anyway, I just want to give you guys that update. I'm very excited to keep reading this because I'm finding the story extremely interesting. And yes, I'm gonna unpause my timer. Hold you tight. Silent whispers haunt me softly every night, chasing shadows gone from sight. Rain hides my tears, feeling lost in these endless fears. In my mind, you still shine bright, lost in time. Well, I thought I would give you guys a quick update. It's 3:30, so we have 18.5 hours left, which means we've been reading for what, 5.5 hours? I am on page 155, so I'm like a little over 50% through. First of all, I'm really enjoying this book. When I was looking up the aesthetic of it and stuff, I saw a TikTok of a girl being like, oh, it's the kind of book where, you know, you cry and then just as your tears start to dry up, you cry again, and it's just that cycle repeating itself. Yeah, pretty much. Basically, a quick synopsis or explanation. Our main character, Adelaide, is looking for a new job because she has to support her family, her little brother Louis and her dad, because their mum died. Well, actually I don't know exactly how long ago it was. I don't think they really specify, or at least I can't remember. But their mum passed away, their dad doesn't work, and so she has to support their family. And she ends up seeing an ad to look after this woman, Helen, with ALS. So she goes to the interview, she meets Helen. Her and Helen absolutely hit it off, but Helen's son, Matthias? I don't know if that's right, but he absolutely hates her. He does not trust her, he refuses to hire her. Helen is not happy with that, so she ends up making sure Adelaide gets hired. Honestly, right now that's pretty much it. I'm like I said, I'm over halfway through, and the whole story has pretty much been Adelaide getting to know Helen and obviously getting to know Matthias more, and they're forming a connection. Helen is super sneaky and she keeps trying to set them up and like arranging for them to be stuck together like alone and everything, and it is a lot of fun. Helen is just the most amazing character, and at the end of every single chapter we get these little letters from Helen, and they all go over just different memories she has and a lot of advice, and it's reminding me a lot of The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And I always talk about that book because I always say that I think Evelyn Hugo as a character is so important and you can learn so much from her, and Helen is giving me the same sort of vibe, and I'm really loving it. I know that there is definitely a lot more to come just based on what's on the back, but I guess I'll see where it goes. I'm hoping that I'll stop crying for a little minute now, but yes, I'm really loving it. I'm loving Matthias and Adelaide's connection and them getting to know each other more and opening up to one another. It's so beautiful. I'm literally obsessed with it.
Hold you tight.
Well, I have finished A Risk on Forever by Ernest Perkins. I finished at 4:59. It's now 5:01. So I have 17 hours and 13 minutes left, which means I've been reading for 6 hours and 45 minutes and I've read 1.5 books. I'm trying to decide what book I want to read next. I think it definitely has to be something that also has an audiobook. If I have something with an audiobook, then first of all, I'll read a lot quicker because I can read along while I listen. But also, I can listen while I clean and everything. Also, whoa, back it on up. A Risk on Forever. That was absolutely beautiful. I think I'm gonna go ahead and say it was a 4.5 stars, maybe 4.75 actually. It really surprised me. I was a little nervous going in. I was thinking, I don't know if this is gonna be good, but it really surprised me. I was annotating to begin with, like the underlined quote where it just says, she'd made me smile more in this short period of time than I had all day. I kept replaying our conversation in my head and somehow found myself wishing it could have lasted just a little longer. And then I just felt like I was wasting so much time, and in a challenge like this, I don't want to waste my time like that. So I started just dog-earing all the pages that I want to go back, and there was something that I wanted to underline or tab. There's one that I really want to read to you guys. I would have let you break my heart 1,000 times over just for the chance of getting more of the moments of pure happiness I felt when I was with you. If you'd just given me something, I would have given you everything. But yes, I really love this. It was so interesting, like so interesting. I thought the side characters and like the side plots, like the stories about her parents, gonna start sobbing, and of course everything with Helen, and then just watching Matthias and Adelaide fall in love and overcome so much. This was beautiful and so short and quick. Highly recommend giving this one a read. Anyway, I'm gonna go think it all through, and I'll let you know once I make a decision. Update on my current book, which is Southern Charmer by Jessica Peterson. I am about 70% through. It is 8:57, so pretty much 9 o'clock, and I have 13 hours and 17 minutes left. So not quite halfway, I'm still feeling pretty good. Like I am starting to get a little, not tired, but just like a little bit sick of reading at this point. But not as much as I expected I would be by now, to be honest. But I realized I hadn't given you guys an update or a synopsis of this book yet. So I'm currently on page 217, which is chapter 28. First of all, I hadn't heard anything of this book. I just randomly stumbled upon it on Amazon. I actually went to Charleston recently and loved it so much. So I was really excited to pick this up because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna like recognize so many of the places they mention, and I have, and it's so much fun. But this book basically follows our main character, Olivia, who is from a small town in New York. She works as a professor. So Olivia's boyfriend from New York actually ends up proposing to her, and she kind of freaks out a little bit and ends up deciding to run away to Charleston and make a deal with her boyfriend, sort of, that they just need space. She needed time to try to pursue her dream of writing a romance book and just get away. So they agreed to go on a break, see separate people, and then she figured that she would come home to him after the 4 weeks was up and everything would be great. But she moves to Charleston. She has this gorgeous neighbor, Eli, who is a huge chef in Charleston. He actually owns one of the nicest restaurants there, and they end up meeting. She ends up writing her romance book, which is historical romance, which I really enjoyed that plotline because you get little snippets of her book in here, if that makes sense. And I don't know, I think that's really enjoyable, and you can see the way that the characters she's writing are very clear reflections of her and Eli's relationship. You have all that, and it's just her kind of figuring out who she is and what she actually wants in life and what's really important to her, because she's so used to having this very prestigious life of all these things that she thought she should want, you know, nice clothes, a fancy job, fancy house, all of those sorts of things, and then kind of figuring out if that really is what she wants. Yeah, I'm loving it. It reminds me of Heart of Dixie. Like, I feel like I'm getting the same sort of feeling. Almost, not as good. I love Heart of Dixie. If you guys enjoyed Heart of Dixie and are looking for a book that feels a little bit reminiscent of that, I would recommend this. Like I said, I'm only 70% through, so I'll see how it goes at the end. Finished Southern Charmer. It is 10:11 and I have 12 hours 2 minutes left. Okay, my thoughts on the book. I really enjoyed it overall. I had a lot of fun. It was exactly what I expected. One thing I'm gonna say, the third act breakup in this was so out of nowhere and so unnecessary and just didn't make sense at all, to be honest. I'm never one to necessarily agree when people say like, oh, a third act breakup shouldn't exist, I hate a third act breakup, because I can understand that most of the time it really moves the plot along and it's necessary. I don't know how to explain it without spoiling it, but I just feel like the third act breakup was completely unnecessary, to be honest. And it really annoyed me, and it made the guy, Eli, just seem like an asshole for no reason. That's my only negative thing about this book. Other than that, it was fun. It was what you would expect. So I would recommend it if that's what you're looking for. And I think I would rate it probably gonna be like 3.5 stars, maybe 3.75. Now to move on to my next book. I think I'm gonna do a thriller because I feel like it'll keep me up, keep me entertained. When I've read a lot of romance, well, I've read 2 romance in a row. So I think I'm gonna do a thriller. Don't know exactly what one. I'm leaning towards The Locked Door by Frida McFadden. I'm kind of thinking I might download it on my Kindle also, so that I can read it in the dark while Jessie is sleeping. Guys, so I did sleep a little. 6:17. I woke up at 6, as you guys saw. Wow. So I went to bed. Well, I didn't even go to bed. I passed the fuck out at around midnight. I don't know exactly what time. But yeah, so not gonna lie, I slept for 6 hours. But you know what? I don't care. Like, I really don't care. Now we have 4 hours and 13 minutes left. This book, first of all, it was scaring me so bad. I was terrified. I was so scared. Like, so scared reading it. Which, normally, like, thrillers, I feel like aren't really scary. I'm gonna honestly get back into it. Let's see where I got up to. I was reading it on my Kindle last night, so I don't know exactly what I was up to. Chapter 12, which is exactly 25% in.
Maybe I'm living in New York, taking the subway, drinks with the girls down in Brooklyn on Friday, work at a bookstore, falling for fictional men. Or maybe I'm in Oklahoma, married, we own a blue Chevy pickup, drink Coca-Cola, wear overalls while we're painting the walls in our house. Or maybe I'm in Scotland, all alone on Isle of Skye, writing poems under.
Okay guys, well, looking like a mess. I just finished The Locked Door. I think I'm settling on like a 4.25 stars. Time update. I think you guys can see I've got an hour and 57 minutes and like 30 seconds left. Basically, this book is about our main character, Nora, who is a surgeon, a very good surgeon, and her father is this infamous serial killer who was arrested 26 years prior. His signature thing, I guess, is that he would cut their hands off and he kept them all as a souvenir. And it's now 26 years later. Nora goes by a different last name. No one really knows that her father is this serial killer, and there seems to be a copycat killer happening who is targeting specifically past patients of Nora. So now I need to try and decide on one final book. I don't think I'm going to get a book finished in the next hour and 53 minutes, but you know what? That's fine. Kind of thinking of doing Bad Influence by Charlie Rose. As you guys saw, the timer just went off. I am 110 pages into Bad Influence. I also found out that this is actually the 3rd book in an interconnected standalone series. That's my bad, but I'm loving it. My brain is muddled. I'm gonna go quickly make a matcha, chill for like a minute, and then I'll be back to give my thoughts on this and close out the video. Hello. So it's been about an hour since I finished my 24 hours of reading. I'm ready to talk. Okay. Start off with my final thoughts and a little side note. Okay, not my final thoughts because I'm not finished. Basically, our main girl, her name is Ali or Allison, and she is moving to a town called River's Edge for college. River's Edge is where her dad has always lived, and she grew up spending the summers at her dad's house, but her dad unfortunately passed away, I think about a year before the book takes place. And when she first moves to the city, she has a run-in with our other main character, Jess or Jessie. They run into each other at Jessie's older sister Lo's bar. And long story short, Jessie ends up roping Ali into pretending to be his girlfriend to get this girl to go away. And then 2 months later, they run into each other at like a frat party of some sort. And the same girl's there, so he keeps on playing along and pretends that she's his girlfriend. They start to hook up, and then something happens. They don't see each other for a little bit because Jessie actually goes to a different college, so he doesn't live in the town. And then he ends up getting kicked off of his lacrosse team and therefore leaves college and is back in River's Edge. Ali doesn't really have anywhere to stay at the moment, and Jessie's older sister Lo ends up letting her stay at her house, which just so happens to be where Jessie is also living. So there is a lot of forced proximity and so much tension. Jessie is so cocky, but in the best way, and I'm obsessed. I don't really know where the story's really gonna go. I mean, I know Ali is interested in music and marketing, so she is doing a lot with that. Jess is kind of just trying to figure out what to do with his life now, so I'm really enjoying it so far, and again, it's so short and quick. Now, to actually properly end out the video, this is my little stack of books. We've got quite a beautiful little color palette going on here. I am feeling so happy and proud of myself right now, because the reason I love doing this video is because my TBR, my physical TBR, is currently 115 books long. Well, actually, when I started this challenge, it was 115 books long. It's now down to 110. And I read some books, specifically these three, and this one actually, that I have had for so long, and for some reason I just never reached for them, for literally no reason. I just haven't reached for them, and I forced myself to read them. And you know what? A Risk Gone Forever, that's gonna be, I'm gonna recommend that to everyone. That book was so incredible. Southern Charmer, you know what? I'm still thinking about it. Like, I was when I first woke up from my little sleep, sorry, I was laying there thinking, I'm actually kind of sad that I finally read Southern Charmer, because now I can't read it. Like, I've read it, even though it wasn't that good. Like, it wasn't anything special necessarily, but I loved it. I loved the characters. I'm definitely going to be reading the rest of that series, because it is the first book in a series of interconnected standalones, and I'm very interested by the other characters. And then The Locked Door, I really enjoyed it, but to be honest, I feel like it's out of my brain right now. I'm too focused on this romance, which I'm loving. I kind of want to go back and read the other 2 books in the series, but I don't know if that's gonna mess with my head. And then, of course, Reputation, which I also really loved, and I've had this on my TBR. This was, honestly, I bought this 2021, maybe even 2020. Finally read it, and you know what? Again, I loved it. So this has been an incredible 24 hours. I had so much fun. I'll probably do this challenge again. I kind of want to do it like a monthly thing, because it's a lot of fun. It's just hard to find time for me to have 2 full days, because, you know, the 24 hours goes, but then I need a whole day to recover at least. I have had an amazing 24 hours, and I read some amazing books, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching me read these. I hope I was entertaining enough for you. I am well and truly back on my YouTube grind and back in my reading grind. I read so many good books. Like, I'm so happy that I experienced these stories, and now they're actually in my brain and not just covers on a bookshelf that I don't actually know what's inside of them. I don't know if that makes sense, but I just feel so happy to have all of these characters and all of these stories in my brain now. I did quickly want to see how many pages I have read. If I do this again, then, you know, I want to compare. So I read 1,155 words in 24 hours. I don't know if that's a lot. Should I divide that by 24 and see what my average was? So on average, I read 48 words an hour. That ain't good at all. But you know what? I had fun. I'm a slow reader. It's fine. I'm so happy right now and proud of myself. Anyway, I've been talking for literally 12 minutes, so I'm not gonna bore you anymore. Thanks for watching. I love you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know, because I will definitely do more, and make sure you subscribe so you can see other videos in the future. And yes, thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.